may be feeling like this because I've been feeling like this, and so like I feel like we might be connecting a bit. For some reason, I feel like I've been asleep for like 2 months. Something woke me up like a few weeks ago. I don't know, I woke up and I'm like, where the hell was I these past 2 months? And I felt like I was moving through life very unconsciously, because before those 2 months, I was very on top of my, developing conscious awareness, being aware of myself, being aware of my emotions, being aware of my surroundings, being aware of how I'm feeling in my journey of just elevating as a person and getting to my goals. Slowly, after some time, it came to a point where I felt like I was chasing my goals, but was never aware of the chase. I was so caught up in the chase of something, and eventually when that chase ended, I was like, where was I? Like, I was just stuck in this tunnel vision. And you guys might be like feeling the same way too. And I noticed that my journals had less and less pages in them. I noticed that my check-ins on myself were becoming less and less. And I noticed I became very unaligned with what I want in life and who I am as a person. It felt like I was with people, I was talking to people, I was chasing things that were not meant for me at this timeline. And I think just as humans, we all have this idea of where we want to be, and all the goals, all the dreams that we have. Sometimes we get so caught up in trying to do everything all at once that we lose in touch of the timeline. And instead of achieving those goals are now vanishing. Those goals are now running away from us because we're not aligned with them. And that's honestly how I felt. I think I was trying to do like 5-6 different things. I'm starting 5-6 different things, and then I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was so lost. There was no progress in any of those 5 to 6 things that I was trying to do because there was no focus. There was no alignment. I'm putting my energy in about 6 to 7 different timelines. And when you put your energy in 6 to 7 different timelines, you're not going to be moving in any timeline. You're going to stay in the timeline that you're in. You're going to stay in the reality that you are in. And that was a new realization that I realized about myself. Like, throughout 2024, towards the end of 2024, I was really locked in on focusing on one thing. And that was growing my social media accounts, that was growing an audience, that was becoming a better person online, and also working on my authenticity, working on my ego to make sure that when I come online, it's coming from the heart and it's coming with intention rather than benefit. And I worked so hard on that, and I was very consciously aware. And so that's how I got to the timeline that I am in right now. But then when it came to trying to do new things and just stacking up a whole bunch of things, there was no direction. And that's when I became unconscious, and that's when it felt like I was asleep. So you guys might be relating to this, and I think the biggest piece of advice, the biggest lesson, if this sounds like you, is to really sit down with yourself, meditate, journal, and ask yourself truly, what is it that you want to do now? Right now. Forget about all these goals that you have in life, okay? We have so many goals. Forget about them. You are going to be able to accomplish them. Don't worry, they're not going to run away from you. Because they're in your head, it is going to happen. It's just not going to happen in this timeline right now. You need to go through the first timeline in order to jump to the next timeline, to shift your reality, to enter that next phase in your life. But right now, you need to think about that one goal that you have in mind, that you feel like, I need to work on this right now because that is what's going to take me to the next level. One goal. I don't care what it is. It's that one big goal. Lock in on it for 3 to 6 months. Really pay attention to how you're feeling when you're accomplishing that goal, when you're going through the motions, when you're going 1% better towards that goal. Pay attention to your strengths, your weaknesses when you are trying to achieve that goal, and fall in love with the process. The process is where you start developing that awareness towards, okay, I want this goal. I've noticed I'm lacking in this. Let's go towards the web of all things. Okay, I'm lacking in this. We're going to go towards this skill. We're going to enhance this skill to bring us more alignment to that goal. That's all what it is. You're going to keep going back to that drawing board. And every time you go back to that drawing board, you're enhancing your skills. You're enhancing yourself. You are growing on yourself because you are in alignment to that big goal. And eventually, through that whole process of, enhancing those skills, developing those skills to go and achieve your main goal, You're gonna wake up one day and you're gonna be at that goal, and you're gonna be ready for the next stage in your life. You're gonna be ready for the next reality in your life. But in order to shift that reality, and in order to jump in those timelines, you cannot be confused. You cannot be having so many different realities. You cannot be living in multiple realities, because at the end of the day, you're just going to be stuck. You're gonna have no direction. And I want you to think of your goals like this. Give me 1 second. I call this the triangle. This is how I think of my goals. Okay, the greater than symbol, that's what we're gonna call it. You are right here. This is everything, all this space and all this knowledge that you need to fill in order to get to that point of that goal. This is how I feel about when this is what goes through my head when I am working on goals, and when I feel like I'm getting closer and closer and closer to the goal. I'm here right now in this current goal, in my current reality. Okay, I'm just at the beginning of this reality, and my end reality for that one goal is right here. But in order to get there, every day I'm going to move slowly and conquer these obstacles, and I'm going to fill in all these gaps. The more I fill in all these gaps, I made it. And that's what you need to think about when it comes to accomplishing your goals, and when it comes to trying to achieve your goals. You start at the triangle. Okay, you start at that very open space. There's an infinite amount of things that you need to learn, that you need to master, that you need to achieve in order to go to that desired reality. And that's kind of it. And that's kind of where my headspace is right now. I feel like I'm back in alignment to my path. I felt so out of alignment. And I don't know. I felt so out of alignment. I was trying to force things. I was trying to make things fit into my life. I was trying to, I don't know. I really was trying just to force a lot of things. And when you force a lot of things, you start falling out of alignment. So let this be a reminder. Start journaling again. Start meditating again. Focus on that one goal. Focus on the purpose of that one goal, and how that one goal is going to be many of the goals that takes you to the big picture in life. We all have one big picture where we want to be in life, that feeling, that space, who we want to be. But there's many directions. There are many things that we need to achieve to get to that one big thing. And this is how I'm envisioning it. This right here is my big goal, where I want to be, and who knows how long. But there are many things that I need to do to get there. Okay, sorry, my drawing sucks. Let me draw a better one. Okay, this is how I'm seeing it. Big goal. This is where I want my life to be. These are other goals. Business, influencer, a lot of money, a lot of education. Okay, I want these big things. I'm right now on the education path and influencer path, but education is my biggest thing because it takes me closer to this big goal, and I have these micro goals that I need to work on. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, other than that, that was your little lesson, guys. That was your little lesson on alignment and get back on track, your little pep talk. Because you and I, we want to be someone. We want to be great. We don't want to be average. And in order to be great, we have to go through some shit. We gotta go through the trenches. We gotta be in the trenches to be great. And if you want to stay average, okay, you can accept the life that you have right now and think that's gonna be your life forever. And you could stay in the trenches and you can hate your life. Go and do that. But if you want to be great, you need to understand that your trench moments are going to be the best moments ever. They are going to be the moments that build you up and build your story. It's just how you perceive it. And you have to keep having that mindset where this is only temporary. I know it feels like forever. I know it feels like it's permanent, but you have to keep telling yourself it's temporary. We are getting 1% better every day, and there's visual proof of it. There's mental proof of it. We see it in our work. We see it in how we talk to ourselves. We see it in the reflection of our reality. We may not be at the desired destination, but we sure are getting there. Other than that, that was your little lesson from Miss Juliana. But yeah, I hope this video resonated with you. And if you like my vibe, you like my content, feel free to subscribe, like this video. I would really appreciate it. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video.